Aloha, Jojo Williams here live in Waikiki, Hawaii. 2 days left on this amazing trip, and I was sitting here this morning, Easter morning, just really giving thanks to my Creator for where I'm at in my life now. And I was thinking back to 1980. 1980, I used to live in Hawaii. I lived on Maui, and it was a very, very hard point in my childhood. We moved here when I was about 11, and my little sister was about 8.5. And our mother, it was probably the hardest time of her life. She was probably at the worst part of her addiction to heroin. And we moved a lot. We moved every, 3 to 6 months, and never stayed in one school for long. And Hawaii came with a promise of we were moving out here because there would be no drug availability, and it just didn't work out that way. And about 6 months of being here, she decided she was going back to Santa Cruz, and I was fed up with moving. I was tired of moving, and I took my stand at 11 years old and told her I didn't want to go, and that I was going to stay with the neighbor. And there was a woman who lived in the apartment complex who all the kids would gather at her house. She always had Twinkies and Ho-Hos and donuts and chips and lots of snacks, stuff we didn't have as kids. And she met the neighbor that day and made arrangements, and the next day her and my sister flew home. I'll never forget telling her that morning that I had changed my mind, that I didn't really mean it, that I wanted to go with them. And her telling me that it was too late. And that day, that woman took me down after we dropped off my sister and mom at the airport, and I was in the back window crying, waving goodbye to them. And she took me down to the state and made me a ward of the state, and I became her foster child so she could collect income for me. Unfortunately, she was an alcoholic and very abusive. That first year without my sister was very, very rough. And I remember getting beat with horsewhips till my legs would bleed, and having to watch her 3 children, and not being allowed to go to school. There was a lot. And about a year later, my sister was flown out here to be a ward of the state as well, after my mother was arrested for forging prescriptions. And let me say that I understand, and I hold no anger or resentment in my heart towards my mother. I love her so dearly, and she's been clean for over 35 years. She's published her own book, and I'm so proud of her for the changes she's made in her own life. And I was sitting here and I was thinking this morning, wow, here I am in Hawaii. And I'm looking out here, look at this. It's 2015. It's a long ways away from 1980, And I've been through a lot in my life. There were a lot of challenges along the way. And the last time I was here, it was in the foster care system. And my third foster parent was amazing. We had our own room, first time in our life. We rode horses. We were in the rodeo. You hear me talk about that. She was an amazing woman who loved us as our own children. And looking at that past and all that I've been through, I'm truly filled with gratitude for the woman that I've become. I'm resilient, resourceful, and strong. And because of my little sister, I'm compassionate and kind, and there's a martyr heart in me. And today I'm able to fly to Hawaii, buy a ticket 2 days in advance, and just come out here to build, because I've learned to love myself and believe in myself. And somebody I was sitting with, talking to at the ATV adventure thing we went to, and I was explaining to her what network marketing means to me. And what it means to me is overcoming our limitations, our fears, our doubts, creating freedom. And I know we talk a lot about financial freedom, time freedom. Those are so important, but I mean freedom. Freedom from our past. Because I don't care who you are, where you've been, what level of education you have. It doesn't matter. Here, we're on a level playing ground, and you can become anybody that you want to be. And I'm proving that. I'm proving that to myself, and making my family proud, and breaking a cycle of poverty that's existed for generations in my family. And she looked at me and she said, wow, nobody's ever said it to me like that. I've been to those opportunity meetings where they say you get 2, you get 2, you get 2, and just didn't sound interesting. But now I think I want to know more. And just to anybody out there who's in the industry, tell people what it means to you in your heart. Because for me, to be able to just pick up and fly to Hawaii and just get out here and meet all these beautiful people in this beautiful land, And to come here after all these years and remember what it was like then and who I've become now, and to go, wow, thank you, God, because I've really come a long way and you've been with me every step of the way, reminds me that dreams come true the moment that you decide they're possible for you. Never, ever, ever believe otherwise. I don't care what you've been through, what you've done. You can change that, because any day we can wake up and decide to be a new person, to live a new life. Have an amazing day. I'm going to get out and enjoy this beautiful Easter Sunday, meeting more new friends on the beach. I love you all. Aloha, Keakua from Hawaii.